And likewise, I remind myself and you, this Eid, let's reflect upon the favors of Allah Azza wa Jalla. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if you count the favors of Allah, you will never be able to enumerate them. Let's be grateful. And how can we be grateful? We were taught how to be grateful by the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, انظروا إلى من هو أسفل منكم ولا تنظروا إلى من هو فوقكم فهو أجدر أن لا تزدروا نعمة الله عليكم. He said, look at those who have less than you, and do not look to those who have more than you, because this is better, so that you do not belittle Allah's favors upon you. Let's be grateful, Ya Akhwan. If you don't have new Eid clothes this year, if you don't receive Eid gifts this year, understand that Eid is not about new clothes. As Ibn Rajab, he said, ليس العيد لمن لبس الجديد إنما العيد لمن طاعته تزيد. He said the Eid is not for the one who wears new clothes. He said the Eid is for the one whose obedience has increased. We have to be grateful, y'all. Subhanallah. This past 4th of July, I'm trying to go to sleep, and the non-Muslims are blowing off the fireworks, and they're waking me up. But before I can fix my mouth to complain, I thought about my brothers in Palestine, who they hear explosions, but they're afraid it's going to kill them. They hear explosions, but it causes loss of life and property. So I went back to sleep. I can't complain about a firework when my brothers are hearing bombs every night. Be grateful, Ya Akhwan. If you don't go to the Eid breakfast this year, don't complain. As Abu Mansur, he said, ليس العيد لمن غرف له إنما العيد لمن غفر له. He said the Eid is not for the one who has food spoon out for him. It's not for the one who eats, but the Eid is for the one who has been forgiven. Before you complain about food, think about those in the Philippines. And there are many Muslims in the Philippines. They can afford a chicken dinner that costs $1.17. Many of the poor can't afford it. So they eat something called pak pak. You know what pak pak is? It literally means in that language, shake off the dirt. It means shake off the dirt. Because the poor, they wait until the restaurants close, and they go at midnight and rummage through the garbage, going through the trash, looking for a chicken bone that has some meat on it. And they collect all the chicken bones that have some meat on it, and they take it home, and they wash it, and they season it, and they recook it, and they sell it on the street for 17 cents. That's how they eat meat. Now, after knowing that, will some of us still come to the Eid cookout and say, all we got is hamburgers and hot dogs again? Don't complain about that. People would love to have that. But we complain. We complain. As we look at the weather report this Eid, and we're hoping that it doesn't rain, remember our brothers and sisters in Somalia who are suffering from drought, such that 4.4 million of them are facing severe famine and starvation because the lack of rain is killing off all the animals in their crops. Pray for them and send them aid if you can. And this Eid, don't forget the sick and elderly Muslims who are unable to attend their Eid prayer. Pray for them and visit them. And thank Allah Ta'ala, praise Allah Ta'ala for your good health, and use your health in the obedience of Allah. You got ears, He didn't give you ears for music. He didn't give you that tongue to be a backbiter. He gave you that tongue to make the zikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. Use that tongue for what he gave it for. That is showing gratitude, that you use his favors for that which is pleasing to him. As the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, فَإِنَّهُ لَمْ يُؤْتَ أَحَدٌ بَعْدَ الْيَقِينِ خَيْرٌ مِنَ الْمَعَافَةِ. He said, no one has been given anything better after having certainty of faith than having well-being. And don't forget our brothers and sisters who will not be at the Eid this year because they have preceded us to the grave. And our brothers and sisters, those who used to pray in the ranks with us, those who was with us last Eid, now they're in the grave, and the only thing to keep them company are their deeds. Make dua for them. And remember our other brothers and sisters who will not be at the Eid this weekend. Not because they're sick, not because they passed away, but because they don't practice Islam anymore. Have sympathy for them and call them up and give them dawah and be kind to them and invite them back to the house of Allah. And then thank Allah Ta'ala the fact that he has kept you upon guidance, because the only reason, don't be arrogant. I know the Quran, I know Arabic. No, it has nothing to do with you. The reason you're sitting here because Allah Ta'ala gave you favor. فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهِ أَنْ يَهْدِيَ يَشْرَى صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. Whoever Allah wants to guide, he opens up his chest for Islam. We Muslims, because Allah Ta'ala favored us, not because we're so special. Allah Ta'ala made you special. So invite them back to Islam and be gentle with them. As the Messenger of Allah, he said, whoever calls to guidance, he shall have the reward of all those that follow him without decreasing their reward at all.